Welcome back. This is Brilliance, and I'm Brad. Thanks for joining me. Having covered chance, choice, and change, we begin to move from realization to application. Over the next few videos, I'll speak about courage and confidence. Later, I'll discuss character. These are essential for leadership, as well as in discovering brilliance. If you watched my previous videos, and I have to thank you for that because some of them are a little painful, then you might know that I had this burning desire to become CEO. I knew this was a lofty goal. I knew that I was in for the long haul with this. I knew it would, take a while, and I had to put the boots and the gloves on. What I didn't know is that it was going to be literally. After my Navy term, I ended up taking a few interim jobs, between successes, as they call them. I landed a contract job in the rising healthcare industry. This was not a job that was easy to land. I was proud to work on the 12th floor. I was proud to work in the city. I could see the city from below my window. I was moving up. I was on my way to the top. Gradually, though, the politics began. They began to emerge, and I could see a pattern. It wasn't anything unusual, just the average politics of any large organization. When I looked honestly, though, this is when I began to see the long road ahead of me. I also took note of skills that I had yet to learn. Nevertheless, blinding myself to the immediate surroundings, I forged ahead fearlessly. I grinded ahead while shaking and moving, and I began to gain contacts. I did this, though, like I was gaining souvenirs. In my youth and ignorance, it made me feel good, as if it were like a step to getting somewhere. I thought I knew where I wanted to go, the top, of course, and I was going to do anything to get there. After several months of churning, a surprising event occurred. I received an offer from a friend. In his call, he told me that he had a job for me. He said he knew that I would love it. Knowing he was keenly aware of my experience, my background, and my extreme desire to excel, it piqued my interest. However, this conversation took a turn when I realized it was a job in construction. I gasped. I was in shock. Why would I take a job in construction? This was absurd to me. I thought, why should I even entertain this thought? This is a strange notion. I laughed at him. I grew up with no exposure to tools and equipment. He knew that I had zero skills or competencies in construction. At the time I thought, why should I leave this cushy job in this cushy chair in the center of the city to work outside, especially in the industry I knew nothing about? What would I say to all the contacts that I had collected? My friend persisted. In fact, he insisted. He kept saying, I know that you will love it. I know that you will love it. And he said that, and despite my words, the words that I was sharing, it was the job for me. After a very lengthy conversation and much persuasion, I did agree to test it. I agreed to work one day the following Saturday. I agreed just for the day, just to test it. To me, it was more to appease him. I thought, once he sees my lack of skills, he'll laugh at me and then he won't bring it up again. This to me was less painful than disappointing him. So be it. Fine with me. This is not at all what happened. He showed me a thing or two. I went to test that job that day, and for the next 14 years, recreation was my industry. Since that day, I've built stadiums all over the country. Some of them small like in parks, and some of them as large as professional football. I've built tennis courts and basketball courts. I've built arenas for rodeos. I've built stadiums and structures for parents to watch baseball and for friends to watch soccer players. I've built hundreds of parks for children and even a few parks for dogs. What happened that day was that my friend guided me to see something that I hadn't yet seen. He guided me to my vision. He guided me to many future achievements. It took courage that day and many days thereafter. It took deliberate practice. It took patience and persistence. But unlike the navigation of the seas of corporate politics, for which I wasn't ready, I had a chance to be honest with myself and learn something new. I had the opportunity to stretch and grow within my strengths of doing something I knew nothing about at the time. I stopped to look ahead that day with courage, and I strategically chose the choice to make a change. I strategically decided to go all in. By reflecting, I was able to face reality. I had taken a position that I wasn't ready for, and the truth was that I knew it. Everyone around me knew it. It was difficult to own, but once honest with myself, I was able to avoid being the unknown turkey. I could feel the signs. I could sense what was occurring around me. Could I have stuck with it? Sure. But why fight the lessons life was providing me? Why go against the grain? Life had provided a new opportunity. Why not go with the flow? The key was I had paused to read the signs. I had picked up the lessons. Now it was time for me to prove that I had learned them. It was time to move on. I was sold and I went all in. On that day, I became aware of something. I'm an achiever. I started to believe I can achieve anything I decide. I began to believe that no matter my background or experience, if I can see it, I can achieve it. Not as in some book that people believe to be far off in some land, not via audio tape or motivational seminars, but in reality. Sure, those things help. They lay the groundwork, especially for some to believe. I had already done that work. And on that day, I moved from external belief to internal belief. The belief from out there somewhere to a belief in here, inside. Yes, it took some coaxing. It took being honest with myself and a little help from a friend. It took inner thought, self-talk, and it took courage. Once the small amount of work was done, I was able to become an achiever. You're an achiever. Courage is the child of belief and confidence. Confidence is conjured when confidence is needed. We'll look at this tomorrow. Had I not the courage to explore my friend's suggestion, I would have taken a different path. I'm convinced it would have been the wrong path. I chose instead to follow my dream. In there is where my strengths laid dormant. In there is where my passions were eventually realized. Do you have a hard decision to make? Decide on reflection. Decide on ownership. Choose to have the courage to take the appropriate action. Delay is not resolution. Will you stay for an undefined amount of time, just waiting? Will you wait for opportunity? Who will this help? Is that wise? What advice would you offer a friend? Are you listening to what others are saying? These are all good questions. Decide what needs to be done, and then just do it. It's that simple. Have the courage and confidence to fly. Confidence appears when it's required. Life doesn't happen to us. Life is what you make it. Courage, on the other hand, is something we have to muster. It's not something someone hands to us. It's not something someone else can wake. It's up to us. Yes, it sometimes sleeps inside us. Sometimes it takes others to help us recognize it. But inside is where we reach. All the keys are in there. Unlock the door from inside. For courage, at times, we must reach deep inside to wake it. Yes, we have to do the work. Yes, we have to analyze the situation. And yes, we have to create the interest. Courage comes from reflection. We have to draw the vision and discover what it can be. This is what wakes courage. It's our passion. This is what creates opportunity. It's our beliefs. This is what opens doors. It's our decisions. This is what realizes our dreams. It's our brilliance. This is what ignites brilliance. It's our courage. Wake your courage. Don't wait. Go today. Go get up. Thanks for joining me. I invite you to subscribe. Until tomorrow, live lightly,